grinning, Dave. You don't know what I do. Nice big smile, lads. The one that goes in exchange in Martin. Right, this is in colour, lads. This is the one that matters.
Well, that makes a different story, doesn't it?
No.
Hotel right now.
I'm a bit false. Okay, lads, nice big smile. Good, lads. Fine. Okay.
Yes, thanks. It must be a great pleasure for you to be recognised as the man who's brought to the English First Division a man of the calibre of Dr. Benglash.
Well, naturally, I'm very proud that it happens to be the very first foreign coach in English football in the 110 or 114 years, of course. But it wasn't too difficult. If you just look at his record, he probably has more experience as a manager of football than probably any other manager in this country and probably most in the world. I mean, he's managed 5 First Division clubs in 3 different countries, and he's managed the under-23 side in the first instance, the national side of Czechoslovakia, and he won the European Championship with it in his second year as manager. He then became manager of the first team of the first national team of Czechoslovakia, and he qualified for the World Cup in '82. Admittedly, they did go out in the first round, but then of course he was called back in '88, and he got to the quarterfinals with the team, and they lost on a penalty to Germany, who eventually won the cup. So he has terrific credentials. Whilst he was manager of the 5 different individual clubs, there isn't a particular club in which he hasn't won a championship. And during the 3 years, for example, with Lisbon, Sporting Lisbon, right, in Portugal, in the 3 years, he was first, second and third in the Portuguese First Division, for example. There's so many credentials the man's got. But having said all that, it's all about winning and losing. And in the end, it's about players and not about managers.
Do you think he's going to find it difficult to adapt to what is generally regarded as the very different style of the Football League?
Well, first of all, he's told me, and he's told the coaches this morning, that he will not change very much initially anyhow for the first 2 or 3 weeks. He's going to leave it to the backroom staff, who are exactly the same staff as we had for the last 3 years under Graham Taylor. So he's going to walk before he runs. Nevertheless, I think gradually he will influence the playing techniques, which of course he's learned from the continent. As to finding it difficult, he's done his homework so much. It's unbelievable, his knowledge of every one of our players. Unbelievable of the knowledge of all the different teams in this country. But when you think of it, he did his training well. He had 10 days with Bill Shankly, lived with him, sat in the same coach every morning training. For example, then he had a period with Bill Nicholson, I understand, at Tottenham. And then he was at Coventry. He was under Jimmy Hill at Coventry. And he played against Spurs. He played against Glasgow Rangers. He had 12 years with Slavan Bratislavia in the first division of Czechoslovakia, and 7 of those years he was captain. During that 7 years, they won 5 different cups. 3 the First Division Championship and 2 what we call the FA Cup. So he has the background, but as I keep repeating, the game is not about managers, it's about players.
David, it's hardly been a break for you over the summer with the World Cup. Back into training already?
Yeah, that's right. And I got back from the World Cup, and within 4 days really I went to Sweden with the boys. We had a pre-season trip out there. We had 10 days out there and 5 games. What's happened after that, I'd come back and I've had 8 days away. I had 8 days in North Devon with the girlfriend, so that's been my break really. I'm looking forward to the start of the season now.
Are you feeling fully fit?
Yeah, I feel fine. I think I felt fine really since I got back from the World Cup. Obviously with what happened over there, I was buzzing anyhow. Really, the main thing is that the coaching staff have decided to give me 8 days off, really, because it might catch up with me in November, December time. We wouldn't have known that until November, December time, but the precaution was to give me 8 days off, and I've enjoyed it down there, but like I say, now I'm ready to go again.
Now, the reputation that you made for yourself in Italy is going to make you even more of a marked man in the coming season in Division 1. do you think you're going to get singled out for special attention?
In certain games, maybe, but that's all going to depend on what form I'm showing during the season for Aston Villa. I know I've set my standards with what I've done in Italy, and I know I've got to keep up to those standards, but if I want to progress in football, then sooner or later it was going to happen like that. I've got a full season at Aston Villa to look forward to in the first division, and I'll go into it and looking to score my goals again. But the main thing is really that I perform for the benefit of Aston Villa and not just for the benefit of David Platt.
Do you think that you're an established member now of the new England setup under Graham Taylor?
I think that's not going to be sorted out until he picks his first squad and squads after that as well. I know that obviously with what I've done over in Italy, I'm going to be there or thereabouts in Graham Taylor's mind, plus he's been here for 2.5 years and I've worked under him. People are saying that that's an asset, that he knows all about me, but he does know all about me. It can also be a hindrance because he knows all my weak points too. One thing I do know is that Graham Taylor won't pick me for England unless I'm producing the goods for Aston Villa. But at the end of the day, club form is going to determine my international prospect.
It's an exciting time at Villa Park as well, with the arrival of a new manager and a man with a great reputation, Joseph Fengler. What do you know about him?
Well, not a great deal about him. We just met him this morning. He's come across very well this morning. He seems a friendly, nice man, really. I'm sure if we're not producing the goods on the field, then he'll come down on us like a ton of bricks. He has got the ability and the pedigree. You don't get to become national manager without having some ability. What we've got to do is welcome him, show him some warmth and appreciation and help him along too, just as any player who moves abroad will be welcomed by whichever club he went to.
He and the whole of the team are going to be under pressure this season because you can only really go one better than you did last year.
That's right. In that particular competition, we've got a European competition that we're looking forward to and everybody's excited at the club. And we've got 2 domestic cup competitions in the FA Cup and Littlewoods Cup. We had a reasonable run in the FA Cup and not such a good run in the Littlewoods Cup, but you know, I mean, if we bring a trophy back to Villa Park next season, then we've done better than we did last season. Although we had a very good season last season, we didn't win anything, and I think that's the aim this year, to win something. We're in line for 4 trophies at the moment, just like every other team in the whole league, really. We've got to set our stall and say, well, why can't we win all 4?
And to start off with, you've got a little match of an international tournament next weekend with Nikita International at Wembley.
Yeah, that's right. That's very important from our point of view. I think, you know, during the pre-season, you've got to play your friendlies. And to have an opportunity to play against Arsenal and then Sampdoria or Real Sociedad on Saturday, tremendous for us, and especially at such a big stage like Wembley. So I've heard people knocking the tournament saying there's not going to be many fans or anything, but from our point of view, really, there's young players who've never played at Wembley before, and it's an opportunity for them to play at Wembley against some top-quality opposition.
Okay, looking forward to the season then.
Definitely. So yeah, I think really, you know, when you come back pre-season, you play your friendlies and everything, but all you want to do, you've had your summer break, and all you want to do is get back into playing football. All the lads just want to get back into playing football, and there's nothing better than the cut and thrust of the first division. We've got to go into it, and we know, like you said, we've set our standards, and we've got to make sure that we keep those standards up. We've got belief in ourselves, confidence in ourselves, and we know that we've got the players here who are capable of doing that.
1990-91, a better season for Villa.
Well, hopefully so, yeah. We want to progress just like I want to progress. People have been saying to me, you know, what an incredible 12 months it's been, but really since I've left Cor Alexandra, my career really has progressed and just kept on progressing. People say, where is it going to stop? But who knows where it's going to stop. You're always striving for perfection. You're never going to get perfection, but that's what you're always striving for. That can only be a good thing, really. If I can progress and players at the club look to progress too, then Aston Villa will progress.
Good luck, David.
Cheers, thank you.
Well, Dr. Venglos, I gather you prefer to be called Joe. You enjoyed the training session this morning?
Yes, it was interesting one. I think from my point of view it was better to know them on the field. I was observing them through video, through television. I saw a few boys when they played in World Cup. They played very well over there. Very rich for a club to have those players. And Kenelson from the Denmark national team. Still we have a player knowing that great success in 82. It means his experience, team, and nice one. Young players are over here too. It means that Graham Taylor and John Hogg and people around management, Mr. Chairman, they did very good job and privileged to work on it.
Coming from international management back to club football is going to be difficult for you. It's a much more difficult day-to-day job for you.
No, I think it's because I become be a club manager, and from a club manager post I came to the national team and come back again. I think it's very important to have experience from both sides, and I have that one. I am preferring to work every day because always you are involved in football, and of course it's bread and butter. I was a player, manager later on. It means I'm looking forward for that, but I know that I have to adapt myself under the different situations. Yeah. I had a little bit short holiday after World Cup. It was tiring mostly from psychological, but now it's okay. But of course I have to have a time for adaptation. And we will start in 25th, and maybe the first division will start in 25th. It's a big time.
Now, I understand from your qualifications, obviously, you're very interested in the physiological side of the game. How much of that approach will you be bringing to the Laval?
You know that football is a simple game, of course, but that experience from the knowledge from physiology, psychology, pedagogy, we are using during the football now. And for example, now when it's a very hot weather, you know, that drinking regime is very important, or the relaxation time for a player is very important. And those things, they have a connection to physiology. No, but I am not I am lecturer in university. I was player, and that time I did study in university, but I'm more a practical man.
Now, the practical knowledge of John Ward is going to be very important to you.
Yeah, of course, it's very nice and very knowledgeable manager, and it's nice to work with him. Yesterday we had a very good talk, about 3 hours, and I am respecting him very much. I know he was working very hard with Mr. Graham Taylor and the people around, and we are going to continue. We are not going to change anything, and yes, their experience and their qualities, what they did, is very important for a club.
And you're looking forward to the kick of the new season against Southampton on the 20th?
Yeah, we are looking forward. But before that, we are going to play a few international games, which is very important for our boys and for a club in general too. I think that international games are very important, especially for a young ones too, when they are able to reach and to improve the quality and experience, because experience you can't buy.
So, congratulations on becoming the new Villa manager, and good luck for the new team.
Yeah, thank you very much, and of course, thanks very much for the appointment to Mr. Chairman, board, and players and colleagues around, and of course, Mr. Graham Taylor, who did a very good job, and it's my duty to continue, and I am looking forward to speak with him, because I'm respecting very much managers from the English football or British clubs or the national team, and I had a very good touch with them always. And I was very happy when the national team of England had a very good success during the World Cup.
John, you've just had the first training session with new manager Joseph Benglosh. Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, very much so. He indicated straight away that he wanted to go out with the players on the field, and from my point of view as well, that was a good idea. It's far better to be out with the boys and just talking to them. Showing is better than talking anyway. So it was good, it was enjoyable, and we've all got it out of the way, and so now we can concentrate and get on with the rest of things.
Now, he may have some problems communicating with the English being a little bit limited, but no problems communicating what he wants.
No, I think his English is very good. I think as time progresses, he will get better with that. We will understand perfectly what he wants. He's a football man, and his whole attitude towards things is that football is an international language anyway, so we're happy with that, and he will get by quite well.
Now, I understand you spent some time talking to him, but there's going to be rather a lot of responsibility on you as assistant manager to keep him aware of fully what's going on with the club at the moment.
That's right. The man's got a tremendous knowledge of international football and football on the continent. What he will need some help with is local knowledge in and around English football. He is very well aware of our players at Aston Villa. I think he's got an advantage over them there. He's seen a lot of videos, he's taken a lot of homework from his last visit, and he's well aware of their abilities. So he's an intelligent man, and underneath his quiet, sort of modest exterior, he's a fellow that will work extremely hard and knows what he wants to do. So we'll help him along, and I think he'll be fine.
You must be very excited at working with a man with such a pedigree as well.
Yeah, it's got to be good experience for everybody at the club. he's got a wide experience of the whole vast array of football games and grounds and players. So it's got to be good. It's going to only rub off and improve all of us.
Now it's something of a change, obviously, having a manager who's from outside the country and outside the Football League. But how important do you think it is that you've not changed the backroom staff?
Well, I think it's important because the base of the ground and the foundation of the club has been set over 3 years. It's not just at first team, it's right through to the schoolboy setup, and we're now encouraging some very good boys to come into the club. The junior side won their league, the reserve team finished third, and the first team finished runners-up in the first division. So right the way through the club, it's important that that foundation is kept going as smoothly as it possibly can. And I think Joe's already indicated he'd like to keep that, and we're pleased to be able to help him.
And after a successful tour that you took to Sweden, are the players all raring to go in the first division?
Yeah, the nice thing about this morning is that we had everybody fit and ready to go for him. So every player now starts off on the same base and the same situation with the new manager. So no one can accuse me of having them injured when the new manager comes in.
So Nigel Spink gets his first touch of the ball in the Nikita International here at Wembley. Aims it forward for Tony Cascarino. Gage with a header. Smith to flick on. Aston trying to get in. And Tony Adams puts the ball out on that far side. Dixon inside for Adams, being chased by Cascarino, and fires the ball into Merson. Gage back to Stuart Gray. Nielsen, Price. Well, in comparison to the opening game, this is really being played at 100 miles an hour. It's still a pre-season friendly, but much more like the pace of the English game. Nielsen, Cascarino, the header inside towards Dwight York, the young Trinidad and Tobago player. Just earned himself another year's work permit to try and prove himself at Aston Villa, and he's got a tremendous turn of pace, as well as Tony Daly. It could cause problems round the back for Arsenal tonight. A free kick floated in. Now can Villa create something? Gray coming down the left side. Cross, I think, aimed towards Cascarino, but too long. Adams made the header away. Cowans this time with a cross in, a spectacular header away by Adams. Davis for Arsenal to Rocastle. Limpar. Gray steals it off him. And Cascarino now with a chance to run at the Arsenal defence. Of course, he scored at Highbury in the league at the end of the season. Winterburn slots it through for Merson, tries to fire the shot first time, and cleared by Price, but Limpar now. What can he do with his fires? Well, what a superb goal! An absolutely tremendous strike from the Swedish international. Came inside, fired it left-footed past Nigel Spink, and an excellent goal at Wembley to open his account for Arsenal. Cascarino brings it down. Trying to get the return from Cowans, but the ball slotted through to him by Gage, and Cascarino through with the first really good chance for Villa. On his left foot, put it past David Seaman, and would probably have expected to get his shot on target. Cascarino chasing it round, and McGrath, but it's Rocastle who comes away with it. An elegant stride cut out by Gage, and then Cowans trying to put it into the path of Price, who does pick it up, plays it outside. Well, he was brought down. The referee felt it was a dive. Aston with the header. Cascarino down to Daly. Looks to trick his way around, and ball goes out of play for a throw. The tackle by Arsenal captain Tony Adams. Davison quickly. Cowans chips it over towards Cascarino. Winterburn. Cascarino and York. Daly tried to cut inside, but Adams was there. Daly does well though to rob him. Gets the cross in. Cascarino couldn't get behind it with the header. York almost latching onto the end of a pass from Kevin Gage. Thomas now. Smith lays it off neatly for Merson. Limpar now to take on Comin. This will be a test of the young defender. Gets a toe in at just the right time and concedes the first corner of the second half. Gage nicely into York. Almost gets away from Dixon. Finds space for the shot and fires it past David Seaman's right-hand post, but the England keeper had judged it perfectly, just got down, didn't need to put out an arm and concede the corner. He knew exactly where his post was. Mansfield. York turns neatly inside. Cowans carrying it forward. A pass over the top. Well, it was aimed towards the head of Cascarino, but Linnigan rose just in time. So referee Neil Midgley gets us underway again. Free kick to Villa. Cowans chips it over the back. The header comes back in. Seaman just stretches up a hand and collects it. Stuart Gray it was who got the header back in at the far post. Seaman gratefully collecting it as seemingly the whole of the Villa team bore down on his goal. I would imagine we're not very far away from seeing another substitution for Villa as Chris Price limps his way around in the right back position. Campbell it is with the ball now, turns away from Mountfield, slots it through for Groves on the far side. Cross for Alan Smith, totally missed his shot, and in the back of the net by Kevin Campbell. 2-0 to Arsenal. Well, he'll be delighted that Alan Smith completely missed the ball there. But Josef Venglas won't be very pleased that his side could allow so much space in the box. Cowans into Cascarino. Rather belatedly Villa. A little bit of possession. York does well. Not afraid to run at them. Finds Gage. Cowans helps it on to Gray on the far side. Can he get a telling cross in? A good one, only the header at point blank range. Superbly saved by David Seaman. Then Dwight York puts it over the bar. Olney sets off. The ball finds Cascarino. That's enough, says Neil Midgley. The second match of this Makita International Tournament of 1990 ends in a victory for the cup holders, Arsenal. wide, unfortunately, by Olney and Garanja. Long ball forward from Mountfield for Cascarino to chase. Plays it off well to Daly. Oh, he trips past one challenge, couldn't get past the second. Still a free kick. Birch leaves it to the Cowans to take it. And the big men come up from the back. There's Cascarino there already, and Mountfield and Comin join. They split away, trying to take the defence with them. The ball whipped in, but straight into the arms of Gonzalez. Stuart Gray. So Dwight York played much more central against Arsenal in last night's game, and now assigned to a left wing role. Villa adopt a more attacking formation this afternoon. It certainly looked much more lively when Ian Olney came on towards the end of the encounter with Arsenal, and it's no doubt prompted Josef Venglosh to introduce the young man from the start for this afternoon's game with Sociedad. Well cut out by Stuart Gray from Laranga's pass. Gray carries it forward, checks back to Cowans. That's more like the Gordon Cowans we expect. His passes certainly weren't too telling last night, but now Tony Daly takes on one, takes on the second and the third, continues going, couldn't get the shot in. That's also more like the Tony Daly we expect to see. A 4-1 as well, and Gray feeds it through for Olney now with a great chance, and that's surely a free kick outside the area. Handball and a foul. Well, who me, says Jose Luis Gonzalez, after diving on the ball some 6 yards outside his own box, and were that in a league match, I'm quite sure it would have earned the keeper a yellow card at the very least, and possibly a dismissal. In a tournament like this, it doesn't really matter, but a free kick quickly taken by Stuart Gray. Got his. And ball aimed towards Bengachair, but cut out by Daly again. Sets off at pace now. This is beautiful running by Tony Daly, showing just what sort of speed he's got. Can he finish with a good cross? It's a good one towards Ian Olney on the far post, goes back to Daly, and Gonzalez quickly comes up his line to collect at the feet of Daly the second time, but a lovely run by Tony Daly, jinks past two challenges, then sets off, goes into overdrive, speeds down that wing, and the cross, a good one towards Ian Olney, and the header really could have been better. Bengachair, not a good pass from him though, and now Cowan's in with a chance, looks up, oh, he attempted to chip it, he wasn't sure whether to hit it or to chip it. That's probably Villa's best chance there, falling to Ian Olney. He looked sharp when he came on against Arsenal, but now Laranga with a good chance at the other end. Oh, a penalty, yes, the referee points to the spot. The foul by Kevin Gage on Jose Laranga. There really can't be many complaints about that. Gage really was caught out. He was tackling from the wrong side of the player, trying to get his legs round, and really he had to as Laranga was about to shoot. And now it's Nigel Spink, the only man between Laranga and an opening goal for Real Sociedad. It is Real Sociedad 1, Aston Villa 0, and it's Jose Laranga, the scorer again. Comin. Now the Spaniards come at them and start to close them down, and the pass, a good one into Cascarino. Mountfield it is, and he finds himself on the right wing, and Daly in the centre of the park. Slight reversal of roles there. It's a good ball through, aimed towards Ian Ormondroyd. He stretches out one of those spindly telescopic legs but couldn't quite get the control he wanted. But Villa still command possession. That's aimed towards Ormondroyd, and the volley over the head of his own keeper, and well, it foul on Gonzalez. Benchaga to Richardson. 45 minutes elapsed, and indeed right on the button. Referee Keith Hackett calls this game to an end. The third-fourth playoff results in a 1-0 victory to Real Sociedad. A second-half penalty from captain Juan Laranga, giving the victory to the visitors from the Basque region, and it's they who go away from Wembley in third place, and sadly Villa who finish up with the wooden spoon.
We didn't play well at all those two matches, and we can only do better. We have worked hard this week, and we look forward tomorrow to the match against Walsall. We also have a match against Bristol City on Monday to get things right before the very important match against Southampton.
You injured yourself in the game against Arsenal on the Friday night at Wembley, didn't you? Yeah,
I have some problems with my ankle, especially when the grounds are so hard as they are at the moment. But it's all right now.
Now, the start of the season against Southampton at home, they finished 7th in the league last season. They're going to be a difficult side to take on for the opening match.
Yeah, it's a very difficult opening match because I think maybe Southampton was one of the very exciting teams last year. On their best days, they can beat all the teams, and so we have to play up to our best if we want to beat them.
A very important cornerstone of Villa's success last season was your partnership with Derek Mountfield at the back. You will be looking forward to continuing the successful defence of that performance.
Of course, we try to. Last year we tried to do our best in every match, and we will do the same this year. We have to see if we can perform as good as we did last year. We hope, of course, of that, and we are very confident we can do it. But we have to prove it also.
And a new manager this season as well. He's impressed you in training, I gather.
Yeah, of course. You can feel he's a very experienced man, and he has been around, and he knows a lot about the game.
Well, Kevin, the new season approaches, and you started off at Wembley with an international tournament. That must have been very interesting for you.
Yes, we all look forward to Wembley. Unfortunately, I don't think we did ourselves justice against Arsenal. We started off very slowly, and as well as they played, I don't think we performed to our best. We can certainly do better than that. But it was nice to play at Wembley, yeah. It's a good experience.
And two different roles for you. You started off in midfield and ended up at full-back.
Yes, I'd moved into midfield in place of Dave Platt. Unfortunately, that sometimes tends to happen to me. I get pushed around and asked to fill in places where I wouldn't normally play. We'll just have to wait and see where I eventually settle down.
Where do you feel your best position is?
I can do both roles equally well, I feel. The way I feel at the moment is being able to play midfield's okay, but if I'm not obviously going to get a regular place there, then I'm opening up other positions that I should be making my own. So we'll have to sort that out.
At full-back, it often does give you the chance to arrive for one of your powerful shots, though, doesn't it?
Well, hopefully, yeah. I mean, I scored 3 goals last year from full-back, which I was pleased with. And I didn't play all the games. I feel if I did play either side full-back, then I could probably get forward a lot more, yeah.
Now, obviously, there's a lot of changes going on in the closed season, particularly the arrival of a new manager, Mr. Venglos. And how are you finding him?
It's difficult. It's difficult at the moment because he can't quite get across what he wants all the time, and the training's certainly different and varied. And he's brought 1 or 2 new ideas in. I think we'll all have to wait for the dust to settle down and the season to get going, and then we'll see what's what.
Opening match against Southampton, a difficult start.
Yeah, they're a very good side. They're always underrated, but for the past couple of years they've been there or thereabouts at the top, and they've got some very, very good individual forwards especially, and it's always a hard game against them.
Can Villa do as well or even better than they did last season?
I see no reason why not. We've got the experience of last year behind us, with the same set of players, a little bit more experienced, as I say. We've all come back fairly sharp and very fit. I think we're all looking forward to it. Hopefully we can get off to a better start than we did last year, and we can go on from there.
Stuart, it's going to be a difficult season for Aston Villa. The fans are going to expect a great deal this season after having finished second last time. Do you think you can live up to the expectations?
Well, there's been a few changes at the club only on the management side. It's similar players, and the players enjoyed the rewards of a very good season last year, so we'll all be hungry for that again. And like you say, it will be difficult, but I think we're capable, we're a season wiser, and hopefully we've all learned from last year.
I don't think too many people expected Villa to do quite as well as they did last time, but having finished second and not won anything last time, what do you think would be the ultimate prize this time, the league or a cup win maybe?
I think the main thing is not to be classed as a one-season wonder, and like you say, we didn't win anything, but we did have quite a good season for us. But it's to maintain that quality that we got, and we'd be happy whether a cup comes along or the league championship comes along.
Now, Dwight, it was a very special weekend for you last weekend to get the opportunity to play at Wembley.
Yes, very much, thanks. I did enjoy it very much, and I'm looking forward to it once again, actually.
Now, you've made it plain that you'd like to stake a claim for a place in the first team squad. What do you think your chances are?
Well, I've been working really hard towards it, and all I could do is just hope for the best, actually, and hope that, you know, just try and impress the manager as best as you could, really, to get in the first team.
Yes, it's a new manager, as you say, Stuart, and how have you been finding his communications with the players?
His English is very good. Obviously, it took us all by surprise. We were in Sweden when we got to know of the appointment. Actually, he's very much in the Graham Taylor mould. He's kept his backroom staff on. He's very approachable, but he's got that iron fist inside him, and it's difficult for him arriving because, like I said earlier on, if we win the championship or win a cup, people are going to say, well, it's the team he's inherited, or if we're not successful, people are going to say it's because Graham Taylor's not here, so it's a difficult situation for him to come.
Yes, it is a difficult one, as you say, for him, but do you feel that the players have responded well to him?
Yes, very much so, because he's kept his backroom staff on, so nothing's really changed. He's come to a club that's been running well. Normally when the manager's left, it's because the club's fallen by the wayside, so he's come when the club's been having a good time. He's come in with new ideas which we're all willing to listen to and learn from, and he's experienced. We've got to respect his record. He did very well with Czechoslovakia in the World Cup, and well, we can only see how the season falls and how well he does.
Now, it's important that you get a good start in the league. It didn't have a great start last time, and it's a difficult start with Southampton as the first game, isn't it?
Yeah, there's no easy game. Well, last year I think we drew at Forest away, then we had Liverpool got a draw. The first three games I think we drew, so we probably would like to have won two of them and lost one, and we'd get 6 points. But like you say, it's important for any of the teams to get a very good start, and we've got Southampton. Hopefully we can get a good result there, and then we go on to Liverpool.
And Dwight, up front we've got Tony Cascarino leading the line, and you came in actually wearing the number 9 shirt at Wembley, I think. Do you see yourself as a central striker?
Well, actually I've been like in Sweden and the pre tour, really. I've been like playing 3 different positions, really, like playing Tony Cascarino position, which is a centre forward. I'm playing on the left side as a winger, and as a midfielder like David Platt, actually. So I've been very in different position. I'm looking forward to playing anyone really that is available to me, actually.
If I can come in there, I'm sure Dwight will like any number from 1 to 11. Like.
Yeah, really, that's it.
Playing in, no, just being specific.
Well, it doesn't really matter. I mean, just being in the first team, really, it's, you know, it'd be magnificent, really, for me, actually.
There's a lot of developments going on at Villa Park as well at the moment, the ground and off the pitch as well. It's going to be a difficult time at the start of the season. Do you think that the things are going to be ready in time?
Yeah, we were down there the other day. I'm sure everything's geared to being correct, because I'm sure I think the chairman must have some insurance policy up there, because it'd be embarrassing if the same thing happened to us what happened to Tottenham last season when their first game of the season was cancelled. But I'm sure everything will be all right, and everything's geared to August the 25th.
Tony, it's another season just about to start, and you must be hoping that you'll find a scoring touch early on and please the Villa crowd.
Yeah, hope I'll start well this year. Big season for me, really, after the move. I'm looking forward to it though, and I'm sure it'll go well.
And the Makita International Tournament didn't go too well, but it was an experience to be playing at Wembley at least.
Yeah, it was good to play at Wembley, but we didn't play as well as we'd liked. but the most important thing is learning things, and we learned a bit over that weekend, and I'm sure we can put it right by the time Southampton comes along.
Yes, difficult start against Southampton.
Oh, it'd be difficult if we played anybody at the start of the season. Everybody starts off level and they like to think that they can have a good season. I feel that we can overcome Southampton and get on and have a good start, and look forward to going to places like Anfield and you know, being at the right end of the table.
Yeah, you came to Villa with the intent of winning something. Do you think we can actually win a trophy instead of going close as we did last year?
Well, I think the most important thing is to sort of establish a top 6 place every year, and you know, say for the next 5 years, and hopefully get involved in one of the cups or get to Wembley and win a cup for the fans. That's what you've got to look at every year, and okay, you need a little bit of luck, but we've got a good squad now, a lot of good players. I'm sure we can do well.
You've not had much of a break this summer with the World Cup. Did you enjoy the experience?
Yeah, it was great. A lot of good times out there, and it's something now. It's been good few memories for me and say David and Paul. But that's gone now, and now the most important thing is getting on with this year.
Is it difficult to change from the excitement of the World Cup to the, say, ordinariness of the Football League?
Yeah, it is. It is a big difference, but it's no more enjoyable than winning anything at club level. I mean, I won the second division at Millwall, and I haven't achieved much more than that. Runners-up, I come in at the end last year, but I'm sure if we would get to Wembley and we'd win a cup for the fans, I'm sure that there would be not a lot to beat that experience.
Well, good luck for the new season, and hope it all goes well.
Thank you.
Gordon, another season in prospect here at the Villa, and an exciting one, having finished second last time.
Yeah, hopefully it'll be as exciting as it was last season. We're all looking forward to looking to get started next week against Southampton. And like you said, you know, we'll be looking to try and go one better.
Now, you started off at Wembley with the Makita International, and it was a lot of pressure on you in midfield with the absence of David Platt.
Yeah, I think it's early days. I mean, obviously it was disappointing to lose Platty at Wembley last week, and obviously we were a better side when he's playing. But the important thing is he's going to be fit for the start of the season next week to be facing Southampton.
Now, you've played here under several managers for the Villa side. What do you think of the new guy?
Very good so far. To start with, he's a very nice fella, and his knowledge of the game is, I would think, second to none. He speaks very well of the English players. He knows our game surprisingly very well, which, I mean, you know, to say he's coming from over there, and he's very good, really. Apart from that, we've got him to go into Europe with us.
Yes, in the prospect of football in Europe, and of course starting off against Baník Ostrava, or a Czechoslovakian side, that's going to be an advantage, having a Czechoslovakian.
It will be an advantage, yeah. I was speaking to him the other day about this, and he knows their team very well. Has worked with most of the players. Quite a few of them played for the Czech team, and not the first team, the B team. And he was telling me how well he knows them all, so obviously it's going to be a big advantage to us with him on our side.
How important is it to the players to have that prospect of European football now for this season?
I think it's something we've missed, and probably I think England have missed as well, the national team, because you've got people now coming into the side who haven't had the experience of playing against the continentals, against a different style of football. So I think it'll only benefit us internationally and at club level.
Yes, of course, you played in Italy with Bari. Did that, do you think, change your style of play?
Yeah, I think I've come back probably a little bit more complete. Whereas before, when I was a bit younger, I was tending to knock too many hard balls and looking for the killer ball all the time, which taught me to try and keep possession more, and probably slowed me down a little bit as well.
Now, with the success of England in the World Cup, do you think the crowds are going to come back and the success of English football is going to continue?
Hopefully, yeah. I think the crowds were up anyway last season, right throughout the country. And like you said, they had a tremendous World Cup. You know, hopefully it's going to give the game another boost over here, and we'll carry on going from strength to strength.
And Villa Park seeing some more developments. It's changed quite a lot since you first came here as a youngster.
Yeah, you know, Villa Park's a big ground, big stadium, and again they've spent some money on it during the summer. I think probably the only thing we haven't spent on this pre-season is players, which obviously with the manager going to get the England job, he probably had players lined up, and it's going to take a new boss time to decide if he needs new players and who they're going to be if he does.
But you've got a very strong squad here at Villa anyway, haven't we?
Yeah, the squad's very good, yeah, but you know, it doesn't harm to add to it now and again, and it always gives players a little bit of a boost, that little bit extra competition for places.
We're here inside Villa Park, Tony, and there's work going on around us on the pitch and off the pitch. But the surface you've just trained on this morning, what's it like?
It's a beautiful surface. I mean, I'd say this is the best surface I've ever played on, including Wembley. It's a lovely surface.
It must be very important to you as a winger who has to control the ball quickly and at pace to have such a good playing surface.
That's right. I mean, it's like playing on a carpet, basically. I mean, it's a beautiful surface.
Now, you had a tremendous season last season, probably the best of your career so far, which put you on the fringe of an England place. Do you think that you can sustain and build perhaps on that success of last season?
I mean, as I said, personally, I mean, it's important for wingers, as myself, to be consistent. I mean, that was my most consistent last season. Hopefully I can do it this season again.
Graham Taylor worked hard with you at the end of last season on making you shoot on site and getting you to score more goals. He felt that you needed to score more goals. And were you happy with your total last season?
I mean, not really. I'm sure I'd like to get. I got 8 last season. I'd like to get double figures this season. But I mean, I was very happy with my contribution. You know, the final ball, the final pass, which created goals. So on that length, very pleased.
Now, Graham Taylor has obviously taken over as England manager, and you have an ambition, a stated ambition, to get into the full England side. Do you think that's going to improve your chances, him being there?
Obviously, that's my aim. I mean, he knows how he can play. I mean, that's where it ends. He knows my ability. But obviously, I've got to keep performing, keep doing well. You know, the team's got to be doing well, obviously, of course. And as an individual, I've got to be doing well as well. And I'll just take it from there. If I keep playing well, then obviously I can get a chance.
Now, European football, the prospect this season as well, starting off against Banik Ostrava. What does that mean to the players?
Well, I mean, it's a new experience for most of them. It's only like Gordon Cowans and Nigel Spence who've experienced this. I mean, the rest has been new for most of us, probably Dave Macklin as well. But I mean, we're going to go out with, you know, it's a big competition. Hopefully we can do well and bring UEFA Cup back home with us.
Chairman, you've just presented the cars to the players for this year. It's an enormous sponsorship deal from Rover, very important to the club.
Yes, it is, and this is the 6th year since Rover have supported us, and in turn I'd like to think we've supported them, because they believe that it's good public relations, bearing in mind, of course, that they have some 30,000 employees. I believe that's the figure, of which I'd like to think 29,000 of them are Villa supporters, so I think they think it's right for our Villa players, that's our senior players, to drive in Rover cars. I mean, they're to be seen all over the area, and of course the public of the Midlands always recognise a Villa player, and it's good for them and it's good for us, and it's very valuable.
They're not cheap cars either, MG Montegos?
No, I think they're a £13,000 motor car, you see, and they're the Montego, as you say, and of course the players are absolutely delighted. You've just seen them. I've just been handing over the keys to them, as you saw this morning.
Now, while we're here at Villa Park, there is work going on in the background, as possibly can be heard on the tape, and there's only about 3 days to go to the start of the season.
That's right.
Is it all going to be completed in time?
Well, our stadium manager, Ted Small, assures me it will, but I've got my legs crossed, my fingers crossed, everything, because there just seems so much to do between now and Saturday. But knowing Ted, it'll be ready.
There has been new fans, or fans rather, coming into the ground will notice a great deal of changes. There's obviously the extension to the front of the Holt end, to the cover there,
yes.
And possibly the most noticeable thing is that the floodlights are no longer there. They're now positioned on top of each of the stands.
Yes, I think we're all sad that we've had to take them down, but the metalwork within them was deteriorating so badly they became a danger. And when you think there's 1.5 ton of battery on top of each one of the floodlights, you have to be so careful. And consequently we had to take them down, added to which the lumens, that's the candle power, wasn't sufficient, however much we tried from where they were, to satisfy television and their colour television to the extent that these new ones will be that much better.
Derek Small, stadium manager. We're here at Villa Park. Work's still going on even as we're talking, and there has been a tremendous amount of work done during the close season. Exactly what's that entail?
Well, if you start round with the Old End first of all, we've taken the front part of the roof off and extended it right to the edge of the pitch in preparation for seating in the next few years, if we have to do it. I think we all hope that we don't have to do it, but it looks like we will. And we've reclad all around the outside, so from people coming up to the ground now should have a far better stand to look at, and it is quite a nice looking stand now, where before it was looking very old and it needed a lot of work on it, but this has seemed to have done a good job on it. We've also taken all the floodlights down. We've put in floodlights along the Holt End, which we never had before, and we've got extra light on the north stand. We've put two small gantries up on one on the Witten, one on the Trinity, which should give us a tremendous amount of light now, far better than what we had off the towers.
And I understand that you've had to re-roof the top of the Trinity Road stand, haven't you?
Yeah, the Trinity Road was in quite a bad state actually, the steel work, and it was condemned. So we just put a lightweight, we've taken all the asbestos off and put a lightweight sheet, plastic covered sheet on there now, and it has made a big improvement.
And of course behind you they're still completing the seats for the visitors in front of the north stand.
That's right, we've taken all the barriers out, all the fencing, and we've put in approximately 3,000 seats. It's just under 3,000, but we're hoping as we can sneak a bit more into to try and get up to the 3,000.
As if all of that work wasn't enough, we're standing here on a brand new pitch as well.
Oh yes, it is a beautiful pitch. Tony and the contractors have worked very hard on it, and it is really beautiful, there's no doubt about it. It's one of the best pitches I've seen for a long while.
So the Villa fans can look forward to a stadium to match the achievements of the team, they hope?
Yes, I hope so, and I hope the team will do as well as what they've actually done with the pitch, because it is something.
Well, thanks for talking to us, David.
Okay.
Courtney, the English FIFA referee, who also took part in Italia 90, just takes a check from his two linesmen. He looked to left and right to make sure that everything is ship-shape and Bristol fashion for the start of the new season. And it's Southampton in their red and white stripes, black shorts and white stockings, who will get the new season underway here at Villa Park. They'll be kicking from right to left, attacking the Holt End, and the new season is underway at Villa Park. And Derek Mountfield immediately breaks down a Southampton attack and finds Stuart Gray. Gray out on the left-hand side, and he's got options to his right. One of them is Gordon Cowans, and Cowans finds David Platt. But the ball is at the feet of Nigel Spink, in front of his own supporters at the Holt End. And Spink will clear this long, looking for Cascarino, who gets the flick header onto Tony Daly, who's forced to check and cut inside by Mickey Adams. And Daly does well to find Gray and goes on the overlap himself, and Gray has a shot, and that takes a deflection. But that was good play by Stuart Gray and Tony Daly between them. And 4 minutes into this match, Villa turning the screw on Southampton. And Gray did well there to combine with Daly. And just for a moment, the Southampton defence looked just a wee bit shaky. In the first corner of this match, far side of the field, Cowans it is who floats it in. A flicked header at the near post by one of the Southampton defenders, but they clear the lines eventually. And it's Letizier who catches Cowans in possession. And Letizier sends Rod Wallace away. And Wallace is on the edge of the penalty area. And he drives the ball against the post. And the ball is cleared by Stuart Gray. The two sides, Nigel Spink in goal, Chris Price at 2, Stuart Gray at 3, Paul McGrath 4, Derek Mountfield at 5, Kent Nielsen at 6, Tony Daly 7, David Platt at 8, Ian Olney at 9, Gordon Cowans at 10, and Tony Cascarino 11. And right out, formerly of Villa, finds Letizier inside the penalty area. Superb play by Letizier, and that is 1-0 on 7 minutes on the watch. We have the first goal of the new season at Villa Park. Letizier is the name of the scorer, And what a well-worked, simple goal it was by Southampton. And not for the first time in this match. The Villa defence was very, very slack indeed. Some excellent passing from this Saints team. There's no kick and rush about them. Very good footballing side under the guidance of the former Villa player Chris Nicholl. The ball at the feet of Derek Mountfield. Approaches the halfway line, plays it forward right-footed. And it's one for Ian Olney to chase. And Olney does well to hold it up, spreading the Southampton defence wide. And he finds Tony Daly. And Daly gets a good cross in. And a thumping header from Tony Cascarino. And what a neat goal that was in reply for Aston Villa. Tony Daly was the man that supplied the cross from the right, and Tony Cascarino thumps his header past Tim Flowers in the Southampton goal. It's only his third goal for Aston Villa since that £1.5 million move from Millwall. But what a good goal it was, and Villa now back on level terms with 12 minutes gone. Villa 1, Southampton 1. That's Tim Flowers, who's got the sun in his face, I fancy. Takes the drop kick long. Kent Nielsen battling with Paul Rideout. McGrath is the one who'll tidy up. Platt finds Daly, and Daly in turn to Olney. And that was neat skill by Ian Olney, who lays it off to David Platt. And a chance for Villa to make it 2-1 through Cascarino. And it's Alex Cherednik who does just that and plays it back to Tim Flowers. Mickey Adams on the far side. Adams finds Case, and Case plays forward. And neat possession by Southampton suddenly breaks down because of a rather sloppy pass by Rod Wallace. And Villa with Cowns can try and turn the screw once more in this Southampton defence. But Jimmy Case, who's been involved in so much for Southampton, sends Rod Wallace away down the Southampton left. Glenn Cockrell herring forward, made a superb run there and wasn't picked out. And he'll be less than happy about that as Rod Wallace sets off on another run, sent away by Jimmy Case, and Wallace goes for the return. Lovely play this by Southampton. The shot by Wallace, the deflection from Paul McGrath, and a super save from Nigel Spink. And both sides now, it would seem, quite happy to play out in the sunshine for a point apiece as Spink takes the ball and kicks it long, and Cascarino got the header onto it, and a mistake by Mickey Adams allows Tony Daly the chance to run at the Southampton defence, which he does, and plays it to David Platt. A Platt shot cannons against the crossbar. What a super strike that was by David Platt. It smacked against the crossbar with Tim Flowers beaten. The danger not cleared for Southampton. Eventually it is, but only as far as Mountfield. And Platt was mightily unlucky there not to open his goal-scoring account for the new season. Tony Daly's the man who will get the ball in once more. Cascarino's the header. Flowers the catch. A foul by Cascarino, said George Courtney. And David Platt receives a round of applause because that was super skill by Tony Daly. 4 minutes now on the watch, and George Courtney has just another quick look before putting the whistle to his lips and deciding that enough is enough. And the first match of the 1990-91 season here at Villa Park ends in a 1-1 draw. The supporters of both sides have enjoyed it hugely. Probably the Southampton fans have enjoyed it slightly more than those from Villa. But an entertaining game nevertheless. And a final score in this opening game of the new campaign. Aston Villa 1, Southampton 1.